Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate you watching my video. We are going to sharpen this pocket knife. It's a Buck Boss made from ATS-34 steel. And these are the jigs I'm going to be using. Hang on a second. This kid. You're stuck in a tree? Yeah. You don't think you can get down? You're pretty low. You want to try to jump? No? Okay, I'll get you down. Hang on.
I'm saved.
You're saved. Hey, you gonna climb up there anymore?
No.
Yeah, you will. So these are the two knife jigs I'm gonna use. This first jig is a small knife jig made by Tormec, and this clamps onto the handle of the knife. It's good for small blades, pocket knives, and whatnot. Here we got the small knife jig clamped onto the knife. I could clamp it here, I could clamp it here, but the idea is you want the blade nearest to this as possible. Then the other important things, when I clamp it in, I set it down on a table like this, and I get the flat of the knife with the flat of this bar together on the same plane. So I've got the knife clamped in the jig, and it looks really wonky. But the reason it's at an angle is because this knife has quite a bit of belly. And if you see the line from the tip to the heel of the edge, notice how it's parallel to the knife jig. That's important before you establish the edge angle. It's not a bad idea to mark the edge. That way you can tell exactly where you're taking material off. All right, so starting off, I was getting my edge angles right, and I noticed at the very tip, you can tell the grind it comes with is a bit uneven. You can see on the right side over here, it's ground a little more, and on this side, it's a little less. So my plan is not to completely correct that, but to make it better.
My dad's the best at sharpening knives. He does a good job. He sharpens like the people. Bring your knife up here and we'll have it sharpened.
So I usually go back and forth from one side to the other. Sometimes I do 2 swipes on a side and then flip it over and do 2 more. But because the angle was uneven and I needed to even it out a bit, you can see here I concentrated on one side quite a bit more than the other. Okay, looking at the grind, that side and that side, we're getting closer to even. You see the very tip, got a little more to go there. I'm being careful not to overgrind the tip. Alright, so I gotta say, one thing I like about this small jig is there are several times where I went too far, and rather than bumping the bolster, I bumped the actual clamp itself, and I could feel it, and I was like, oh, back off. And that keeps you from getting unnecessary scratches. So I gotta say, that's pretty nice having that right there. So here I'm using my stone grater to make my 220 grit stone as smooth as a 1000 grit stone. I'm not sure exactly how smooth it is. I don't think it's quite 1000 grit, but it definitely makes it smoother and allows me to refine my burr, get it real small so that it's easily removed later on in the process. I think we got it. Okay, here we are. And that edge looks pretty good. You can't probably see it. There is a slight chip right about there. Very slight. It was pretty deep. I could have got it all the way out, but that would just, I feel bad taking off too much metal, so. All right, it's got a nice edge. Next up, I'm thinking waterstone. All right, so I'm gonna start off with 800 grit waterstone. Really want to be careful with that tip. Those 10-inch water wheel sharpeners do an awesome job on the tip. Like, I mean, they turn your tips into needles. Crazy sharp tips. Okay, not quite enough still.
The toast is just coming out of the toaster. I'm gonna butter it and then it's gonna be ready.
Okay, thank you. Ooh, I got breakfast coming. So it's important to note that now that I'm finishing with the waterstones, my strokes are only with the weight of the knife, and even less than that at some times, because you're trying to really get that burr minute so you can get the sharpest edge you can. And if you were to stroke harder, then you know you're not going to have as fine of an edge. Alternate a little bit, maybe 2 and 2. Really light strokes. I mean, very little, not even the weight of the knife. I'm just trying to find that edge. Very light strokes. Okay. Okay. All right, we're ready for the 3000. And the 3000, we're not going to do long. We're just gonna, I still want to have a little bit of tooth on the edge, so I'm not gonna make it totally mirrored, because a pocket knife, I don't think should be mirrored on the edge. But it will be pretty nice. Okay.
Nobody likes to make food that somebody lets get cold.
Okay, all right. All right. All right. Now, little strop. All right, are we cutting? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at all that hair. Oh my goodness. That's sharp. So can you see? Came out pretty good. Nice even. It is the paper test. Let's check the point. Thank you for watching. If you like, please like and subscribe. And I hope you tune in for the next one. Take care.
Oh, you got her.